Shalom, shalom. I want to start off by saying Barakathon, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakatadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole flesh, all down to 44,000. Shalom. So, it is raining. I'm in the car, you know, but, um, just talking, right? Lord willing, like when I get the stop sign thing, nature, I bring the precepts out. But this morning, when I woke up, I was thinking about this, and the spirit just hit me again, came with my mind again, You think about, that I done did a lesson on this before that, you know, they walk in darkness. But I really was talking about, when I did it before, I was talking about, like Jake, how they walk in darkness, man, following out the ways Esau thing. They said that's why they don't know who they are. They don't know themselves, Like most I say they grope, man. They grope, they grope at noonday, meaning like how a blind person be walking, what I'm saying, and they don't really know where they going, or it's like if the lights off in the house and you trying to feel the wall to see where the light switch at, that's how they is, that's how they move around, man. They don't never know their next step. They don't never got faith in nothing they do because they in darkness. They don't wonder whether they gonna step into a trap or whether they gonna what I'm saying. But when I was thinking about that, right? Well, not thinking about that. When I had did that lesson a little while ago, but this morning I was thinking about was how Esau Edom, man, how Esau Edom they curse with that darkness, man, right? They curse with that darkness. That darkness is forever on them. That darkness is forever with them, man. And it goes all the way back to that serpent, right? The serpent that's in the garden. Genesis 3 going down. I want to say around actually coming up to a red light real fast right here. We'll be able to pull it up real fast. Genesis 3 going down to verse 14, right? And it reads says, and the Lord Yahweh powers said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field, and upon thy belly shalt thou go. And that belly just mean like a low place, right? 'Cause, they go. You remember they used to be Esau, they used to be in that caveman. They used to be in that caveman condition, right? Used to be caveman, low to low, right? I remember I think I was watching Elder Apostle Rumlock lesson. He was talking about, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of the elders, or it probably was me and the brothers, But anyways, with that being said, I mean, we was talking and we was talking about how like, they don't show them movies no more like caveman things of that nature, right? They don't be showing things like that because they know that's their true, that's their true self, right? They try to show themselves as rich, powerful, and uh, 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 the chosen people. That's the type of image they try to push themselves, knowing that they used to be in that caveman standpoint, that caveman life standpoint, right? Belly on low to low, basis of men, right? So it says, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all days of thy life. What does that dust represent? Confusion, man. They'll never understand this knowledge, or they'll never have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah to understand this knowledge, to understand anything to get close to Yahweh Shem Shah. They always have that dust, and like I say, that goes back to that serpent, man. That serpent, what? That serpent who, the serpent who was the evil spirit on the men and was on the men in the garden who deceived Eve, later deceived Adam, right? Then that serpent later come through Cain, right? Then Cain get wiped away and through the flood, right? Now the serpent come through. Who is it today? It's Esau Edom, right? Because um, they the wicked, right? Cain cursed with that leprosy, right? The evil spirit on Cain. Cain cursed with that leprosy, right? And then Esau Edom come. What Esau mean? What? Wasted away. Edom mean what? uh, red, idumia is the Greek way to say, Edom, right? Because they red, because why? They pigment was stripped from them, leprosy, right? Numbers 12 and 9, right? Precept that show that, right? Well, Miriam, Moses' sister, she was stripped from her pigment. She was cursed with leprosy. Aaron said he looked upon her, she was white as snow, right? So that white is identifying fact of the wicked. But that's a subject. That's a topic for another lesson. But this goes back to that serpent, man, being cursed with that dust, that confusion, right? So and them being cursed with that dust and that confusion, they're walking in darkness, man. Because why? These scriptures, this knowledge, this understanding that Yahweh sent through Yahweh Shai, right, is the light, right? And I'm actually from the part right here. So give me a second, right? Give me a second, real fast. All right. So put this apart. So let me see. I am the light. I know it's in John. Bear with me. John 12:46, right? It says, "I am a light," right? Matter of fact, I started verse 44. Cause like I was saying, right? Yeah, Yahweh sent his son Yahweh shot down here with the knowledge, with the truth, the message, right? To return back, to get out of the ways of darkness, right? And, right? It's a good precept for that, right? It says, I started verse 44. I started verse 44, John 12:44. And Yahweh shot cried and said, "He that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me." Because this is, Yahweh gave authority to, Revelations 1:18, right? Yahweh shot said he got the keys, the authority, he bring judgment. Yahweh gave, the power of judgment and all those things to Yahweh Shai, right? Just as well as Yahweh Shai and the powers, right? The angels, right? The sons of power created the earth, but it's Yahweh Shai blueprint. It's like it's Yahweh blueprint, right? Just like I remember Elder Mazak about the lesson on this, right? It ain't like on the earth where you have a son and a father who'll be on a different page. No, in this case, the son and the father are on the same page. Everything that Yahweh Shai do is because Yahweh Shai said it for that. So like everything that Yahweh Shai do, Yahweh said it for it to happen. It's it's in the will of Yahweh by seeing Yahweh Shai. Yahweh the Father by Hashem in the name the Son Yahweh Shai, right? But it says 45, he that seeth me seeth him that sent me. Right? He says, I come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness. Right? So Esau, that evil spirit that's on Esau Edom, they curse with that dust, that confusion. So they can always walk in darkness. Right? That's why this kingdom is darkness, man. Right? Um in Revelation. Right? Because we know earth is in the hands of the wicked. Esau run Job 9:24. Earth is in the hands of the wicked. Esau run this place, man. Right? Let me see. Darkness. See how many come up. Bear with. Yeah, we definitely gonna go to Psalm 82. Right? We definitely was gonna go to that. But I'm trying to go to Revelation real fast. Bear with me. Let me see. Okay, con. Lord, how about outside? Revelation 16:10. Right? It says, and the fifth angel poured out his vow upon the seat of the beast. Right? Well, so who that beast was? Esau Edom, right? The beast is who? So-called white man, right? Esau Edom, right? It says, I start over. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast. His kingdom was full of darkness, and they gone their tongues for pain. Right? What you see? First of all, the beast is who? Esau Edom, right? But we live in the kingdom of darkness, in the white man kingdom. Darkness is basically sin, right? Because Revelation 18:4 say, right? Let me see. Let me see, like not 18:4, 18:2, right? It says Revelation 18:2, right? It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, right? Babylon's what? America, right? Spiritually, Sodom and Egypt, right? Because Sodom what? Being accepting all that iniquity, all the things going on when it's going to be destroyed, right? Egypt, because what? Exodus 22, known as the house of bondage. We in slavery down here, right? It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. It's fallen and is becoming the habitation of devils and the hold of every in the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird, right? So this place is full of sins, full of darkness, man. Darkness is sin, all this iniquity going on, all this thing going on that's contrary to the Most High. Them transgressing the laws, right? Them breaking the laws, them destroying the earth, right? Them breaking everything. And the earth is out of course, man. The earth is, it's darkness down here. People don't know where they're going, and it's full of sin, right? But the light is this word, this truth, this understanding that Yahweh Shah, right, brought to us. Right, so therefore, as you say in John 12:46, when we return back to Yahweh Shah, we don't abide in darkness. But as long as you follow out the ways of these world, follow out the ways of these people, follow out the ways of Esau, they abide in darkness, man. They walk in darkness, and that's what they do, right? You know. Let me see, Psalms, because they don't have no knowledge, man. They don't have no knowledge, and they lie about everything, right? They don't got the true knowledge, right? And I know, I think I know Elder Pastor Tahar talk about it a lot, right? You got these scholars, right? They go to school, and Elder Pastor Rumla talk about it a lot too. But you got these scholars that go to school, who go to study, things of that nature, and try to, try to betray like they know this knowledge, they know this understanding, they know the breakdown of these scriptures, but they come with their understanding, they come with their thoughts on the scriptures, right? They don't understand it. They don't know the prophecies. They don't know the true. They don't know the true understanding. This is why, because even going back to that serpent, right? That curse with that dust, that confusion. They'll never be able to understand his knowledge to get close to Yahweh Shah, right? Psalms 82, right? It says right here, right? Psalms 82:5. They know not, neither will they understand, right? Because why? They teach wrong, they've been taught wrong, right? They will never understand this knowledge. They'll never understand the true knowledge of Yahweh Shah, man, right? And I got it right here in my notes, man, right? Esau don't understand, right? It says they walk on in darkness, right? Because why? Even though we got the light, the scriptures, the understanding, right? I got it right here, right? We got the light, these scriptures, understand this knowledge, right? They, it says all the foundations of the earth are out of course, right? Because everything out of course, everything they do is sin, is iniquity, is contrary to Yahweh Shah, right? They walk in darkness, man, right? So they walk on in darkness because they all they do is sin. All they do is go against Yahweh Shah, right? They reverse everything, right? And after the notes I got on this, right? The spirit is here to do wickedness. Everything's out of course. Everything's upside down, right? But the point being in this, right? Esau don't understand. They'll never understand. They don't have the knowledge. He said they know not, neither will they understand, right? Let me see. Born for speaking lies. Let me see. Born for speaking Anyway, I know it's in the song. Oh yeah, Psalms 58. Glory how about you, Shah. Right, let me turn this off. End up getting an interruption. Psalms 58. And this wasn't gonna be alone. This was the spirit that was just on me, right? This was the spirit that was just on me, this morning. But as I was riding just now, it came back over me. So I want to get this done real fast, right? So Psalms 58:3, right? It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. Who is that? Who's the wicked? Esau, Edom, right? The earth is in the hands of the wicked. Who run the earth? Who in charge of the earth, right? He said they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, forges of lies, man. Soon as they come out, speaking lies. What they do? They out here to deceive the whole world. The spirit is here to do wickedness, man, right? And you gonna see right here the same thing in my nose, right? Wicked is the Edomites. They speak nothing but lies. They're the man of deception, man. They go out deceiving the whole world, right? They're tricking the people, deceiving the people, the melting pot. They push all these ways of this wicked ass dark kingdom of Babylon, right? And they put these ways out on our people that our people are so confused. That's why our people abide in darkness so much. But we got the knowledge, the understanding of these scriptures, right? The men who follow after Yahweh Shah. We got the light, so therefore we able to step out of darkness. We able to step on the right path, focus on the straight gate, right? It says their poison is like the poison of a serpent. What? Watch my notes say. The serpent in the garden. The same serpent from the garden, man, right? The same serpent from the garden. That's why it goes all the way back to that dust, that confusion that the serpent was cursed with, man. The Lord of low, the basis of men, right? And I got another quick precept that come to mind, Daniel 4:17, right? He said, there are the deaf adder that stop her ear. Esau, Edom, these Christians, none of these people, they don't want to hear this knowledge. They don't want to hear this stuff, right? Because they think they know it all, right? They turn their ear from it. You can't tell them nothing. They know it all. If you ask them, they the chosen people. right? If you ask them, they the chosen people of Yahweh outside. That's why they try to put so much confusion, make you think that everybody gonna be saved. No, everybody ain't gonna be saved. Esau, Edom, our main enemy, they gonna be our slaves in the kingdom. All nations gonna be our slaves in the kingdom. We gonna do Esau, Edom the worst way. After they done their slavery, man, we gonna tie their ass up and get rid of them, right? But you know, I read verse 3 again, right? It said, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray, speaking lies, right? They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. Forces of lies, man, what they do. Lied about Christopher Columbus. Lied about who you are. Lied about everything, right? Lied about how they got his land. All of it, man. They go for speaking lies, right? You know, this kingdom is full of darkness, man, right? And once again, you know, that serpent, right? Made me think of that when verse 5, right? Said the poison like the poison of a serpent. That serpent that's in the garden, right? Made me think of what he cursed him with, right? He said, on thy belly thou, rough paraphrasing, on thy belly thou shalt go, right? Meaning a low standpoint, lower to low, right? And be cursed with that dust, right? That confusion, right? But that going on their belly, that lower to low, right? Basis, right? Let me see. Daniel 4:17, right? And it reads, says, this is matter by the decree of the watchers and demand by the word of the holy ones. Who are the holy ones? The ones who, you know, Israel, right? You know, beginning with the elect, go on down, right? It says, to the intent that the living may know the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, right? He controls this place. The Most High rule all this, right? Everything that's going on, he controlling it, from the left-hand spirit to the right-hand spirit, you know? That's why it says Psalm 17, and it says, you know, hide me from the people who are your sword. Who is that? Esau, Edom. Most High controlling them to do what they doing. They thinking that they more powerful than what they is, but whole time the Most High controlling all this, man. That's why when you get out that darkness, you're able to understand these things, right? But it says, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men, right? The basis of men, right? The basis of men. Let me see if we can get a true definition right here. If not, we'll go to the right. Come on now. Detonating or a person. I'll read verse 1, right? The second definition got me quick, right? Because he said, you know, it's showing you, right? But the first definition of a person or a person's action or feeling without moral principle, you know, ignoble, right? That denoting or befitting a person of low social class, right? Low to low, man, right? They low, man, you know. They low social class, they low. They think they powerful. They think they that. But they the low, man. Right? Esau ain't nothing, man. They gonna be destroyed. They gonna be done away with. Most High gonna get rid of their ass. Right? Right? That's why he said, well, they build up, I'm gonna throw down. Right? Did he not say that? Malachi 1:4, right? It said, whereas Esau, it's like whereas Edom said, right? We are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places. This said the Lord of hosts. This is Lord Yahweh of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people whom the Lord Yahweh have indignation forever. That righteous judgment, man. That's justice, man. Most High gonna punish their ass, get rid of their shit, right? He said, but we are impoverished because they know they are. On their belly shall they'll go, man. Them caveman people, man. Them low people, man. Right? But you know, hey, that's what they got. They got their blessing. What Esau's blessing was the fatness of this earth, right? The fatness of this earth. But guess what though? When the time comes, guess what's gonna happen, man? Right? I don't think there's a precept that say that. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it this way. You had your. No. Actually, yes, that's let's see. There's Luke 16. Yeah, Luke 16. Claudia, how about you? Looking for the precept, right? It said, let me see. Yeah, right here, right? Lazarus and the rich man, right? The parable Lazarus and the rich man, meaning who? Israel and Esau, Edom. How we low How we low down here. Esau, Israel, our nation, right? Beginning with the elect, going on down, right? We low down here. We lousy, man. We go through a lot of things down here. We got the curses on us, right? This ain't our kingdom. Ain't nothing good for us down here, right? But we know the kingdom that's set for us, right? The kingdom that's set for us, we're gonna have it all through the spirit of power. How about see outside, right? Then you got. I want to go read. I just want to read a quick precept in it, but I give understanding on it, right? You got a rich man who, if you understand it, right? Esau, Edom, they got everything. They have everything, right? But they're gonna go through that torment, they go through that hell, that adversity, that slavery when we get into the kingdom, right? But quick precept I want to read out of this, right? It says, verse 25, right? It says, but Abraham said, son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest your good things, right? Because why? Esau got they got the good, this they king, they got the good things down here, right? And it says, and likewise Lazarus, evil things, we got the evil things. We got the curses on us, right? We got Esau, Edom out here purging us, going through us. They want to wipe us out from being a nation. You guys are confused. We the Lord. We go through all this poverty. This is our hell. We go through poverty, destruction, the grave, all of it, right? He says, but now he is confronted and thou art tormented. They're tormented, right? Because they're going to be destroyed, man. They're going to be destroyed. His kingdom going to be destroyed. They're going to be put in slavery, right? We're going to tie their ass up, burn on that adversity, that hardship they're going to go through when we get into the kingdom, man, right? But verse 26, right? It says, and beside all this, between us and you, there's a great gulf. It's a separation. Genesis 23 and 25, man. A separation, right? They're nothing like us. The elder shall serve the younger. Esau came out like they are slaves, right? Most High ain't dealt with any other nation but Israel, man. Right? He said, so that they which would pass from hence, you cannot. Neither can they pass us that would come from this, right? Great gulf, separation, man. Right? But I want to read that quick precept too, right? But yeah, man, this is a dark kingdom, right? Esau walk in darkness. This is a dark kingdom, right? They walk on in darkness. They don't do nothing but sin, and they confuse the people to sin too. Once again, that melting pot, Micah chapter 3, right? The melting pot. They break the bones, right? They break the bones down. They scoff them up. That great melting pot. Because when you in this truth and this light, when you in this truth, when you found the light, right? Ezekiel chapter 37, he prophesied, right? The bones came together through this word, through the scripts, that breath that Yahweh shall give us is what? The understanding, knowledge, the true script, the true understanding of these scriptures, the 100% truth, through the comforter, right? The 100% truth, So that being said, man, Jake, get out of that darkness, man. Return to the light. Return to the light. Return to the knowledge of Yahweh, man, through the spirit of Yahweh, right? Because once again, this is a heritage thing. This ain't nobody can just join this. This is our heritage. This is our lineage, man. So with that being said, right, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, or Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole flesh star with 144,000. Shalom. Be back. Lord willing, be back with another lesson soon.